نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Ramadan is the month of getting close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the mission, the goal, the target that has been given to every Muslim man and woman. And the challenge is, what is each person willing to do to get close to Allah? How much are they willing to do? And how much are they willing to give up to get close to Allah? Now someone might ask that why would I have to give up something to get close to Allah? Can I just get close to Him? Well, there are two types of things that we have to let go of. There are those things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like. We cannot get close to Allah by doing the things that He dislikes. And there are some things that maybe they are not prohibited in Islam, but they lead towards other things. They lead towards missing out on some really important things. And a person continues to make sacrifices, keeps getting closer and closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, until a time comes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala befriends them. Allah makes them His friend. And like we mentioned yesterday, there is no minimum age limit for this. Anyone can be a friend of Allah if they do the right things. In one hadith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Man aada li waliyan faqad adantuhu bil harb." When I make someone my friend, and anyone tries to hurt them, get in their way, anyone becomes their enemy, then Allah says that I declare war against that person, I make that person my enemy. How could it be that a person who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put on a list of His enemies ever succeed? This person will never succeed. Now, how does a person get to that place? How does a person reach that level where they are now the friend of Allah? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains that first of all, the first thing that a person has to do is be extremely diligent about what is required in deen. وَمَا يَتَقَرَّبُ إِلَيَّ عَبْدِي بِشَيْءٍ أَحَبُّ إِلَيَّ مِمَّا افْتَرَضْتُ عَلَيْهِ. There is nothing more valuable than the fara'id, those things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put as obligations on us, like salat, like siyam. But these are not the only fara'id. Obedience and care for our parents, this is also from the fara'id. Speaking the truth is also from the fara'id. Respecting elders, caring for youngsters, this is also from the fara'id. And all those things that Allah has made haram, then to stay away from them is also fard. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made consuming certain types of food haram. So now it's fard to stay away from those types of foods. And it's fard to stay away from anything that will lead us in that direction. Similarly, backbiting is haram, slandering is haram, swearing is haram, cursing. So now it becomes a duty, an obligation to stay away from those things. So two types of obligations. One is the obligation that we have to do, and the other is the obligation that we need to stay away from. If a person can do this, this is the most powerful way of getting close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Somebody who is breaking these rules cannot move to the next level. Everyone wants to be close to Allah. Everyone wants that whenever they raise their hands, Allah accepts their dua. Everyone wants Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do things for them, to do favors for them. Everyone wants Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help them. Everyone wants Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to solve their problems. But there is a method of getting there. That's what this hadith is explaining. So doing what is necessary and staying away from what is forbidden is the first step of getting close to Allah. Somebody who is breaching these things cannot get close to Allah. Allah will not allow them to come close to Him. Similarly, if the Prophet ﷺ has commanded us to do something, Allah expects us to do it. He wants us to do it. If the Prophet ﷺ has forbidden us from something, then Allah expects that we will not do it. Allah has also forbidden it. مَنْ يُطِعِ الرَّسُولَ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهِ. Whoever obeys an instruction of Rasulullah ﷺ has obeyed a command of Allah. So this is the first level. Once someone is doing this right, the next level is to do the extra things. وَلَا يَزَالُ عَبْدِي يَتَقَرَّبُ إِلَيَّ بِالنَّوَافِلِ حَتَّى أُحِبَّهُ. Then a person starts doing extra acts. This is your recitation of the Quran. This is your dhikr of Allah. This is your extra nafil salat. This is getting up for tahajjud. This is all of those extra things. So once you do the basics, now you have a chance to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by doing extra. And this is what happens with a person. When a person is firm in fulfilling their obligations, in staying away from what Allah has forbidden, then their heart will want to do more to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Their heart will desire to come to the masjid and pray. Their heart will desire for them to stand up and offer extra salat. Their heart will desire that they raise their hands in front of Allah and make dua. Their heart will desire that they recite more Quran. And so a person keeps doing these extra acts, continues doing them until they become the beloved of Allah. And when they become the beloved of Allah, فَإِذَا أَحْبَبْتُهُ كُنْتُ سَمْعَهُ الَّذِي يَسْمَعُ بِهِ وَبَصَرَهُ الَّذِي يُبْصِرُ بِهِ وَيَدَهُ الَّتِي يَبْطِشُ بِهَا وَرِجْلَهُ الَّتِي يَمْشِي بِهَا. Allah says that now I become his ears, his eyes, his hands, his feet. In other words, this person's every action is going to be according to my instructions. Everything they do is in compliance with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from them. So then, وَلَئِنْ سَأَلَنِي أَعْطَيْتُهُ وَلَئِنْ اسْتَعَاذَنِي لَأُعِيذَنَّهُ. Anytime this person asks Allah, Allah is going to give them. When this person needs help or protection, Allah is going to protect them. There have been many people like this on the face of the earth. Whenever they raise their hands, Allah would accept their dua. Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas radiallahu anhu was one of those people. Great sahabi of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whenever he raised his hands, his dua would be accepted. Once, some people created a plan against him. And they wanted to defame him. They wanted him to look bad in front of Umar radiallahu anhu. So they started a series of complaints. They said, oh, he doesn't lead salat properly, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. When Umar radiallahu anhu was visiting Iraq, he asked the people, everyone said, no, that's not the case. But in one masjid, one person stood up and started making all these false allegations against him. So Sa'ad radiallahu anhu was asked and he said, no, this is not the case. But when he learned that this person has made these things up, he was very much hurt. So from his heart, a dua came out against that person. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made that person blind, made them poor, and made them miserable for the rest of their lives. In one battle, in the battle of Qadisiyah, which was the decisive battle through which the Muslims conquered Persia, Sa'ad radiallahu anhu was injured. He had extreme pain in his back. He couldn't even sit up. Couldn't even sit on an animal. He had to just lie down. So that last battle that took place, he wasn't able to go into the battlefield. He was immobile. But he was at a vantage point and instructing the soldiers and managing all those things. After the Muslims had won the battle, some people made some comments about him that, yeah, we won the battle, no thanks to him. He was sitting around, he was lounging around the whole time. So Sa'd radiallahu anhu was really hurt by this. He was hurt because he was in fact injured because he was traveling in the path of Allah. And now he was unable to move, unable to walk, and now people were making fun of him. He was hurt. He said, "Oh Allah, if what they're saying is incorrect, then you take care of them." So out of nowhere, the person who had started this, out of nowhere an arrow came and struck the person falls down. The battle is over, there is no army, there is nothing. But that in fact was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala standing up for his friend. Don't play with my friend's reputation. Don't play with their respect. Some of you will have read the story of Abdullah ibn Tamir. That boy from Bani Israel became so close to Allah. Every time he made dua for someone, it became accepted. Somebody was blind, they came to him, he made dua, person's blindness was cured. People were coming with all kinds of problems. He said, "Look, I'll make dua for you. I'm not the one who cures. I'll make dua to Allah if you believe in Allah." So they would believe in Allah. He would make dua, "Oh Allah, cure this person." Allah would cure them. So much so that the king found out and had him taken to be thrown off of a mountain. And he just raised his hands. He said, "Allahumma kfinihim bima shi'ta." "Oh Allah, you suffice me. You look after me in the way that you know best." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused the mountain to shake. All of those men fell and died. Abdullah ibn Tamir walked down by himself. Then he was sent off into the ocean to be cast in the middle of the ocean. So just when they were about to throw him, again he raised his hands. He says, "Allahumma kfinihim bima shi'ta." "Oh Allah, you become enough for me. You look after me in the way that you know best." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused the ship to start rocking and shaking, and all of the people fell off of the boat except for him, and he steered the ship right back to the king and said, "Look, I'm still here. You can't do anything to me." These stories are not for people of the past. These stories are for us, so that we can also become like that. But if somebody is constantly breaking the command of Allah, just because it feels good, just because it's enjoyable, they keep doing something that displeases Allah, they never move ahead, they stay in the same rut. And to be a friend of Allah, you don't have to be highly intelligent. You don't have to have high grades. You don't have to be from a certain kind of family. You don't need a certain kind of upbringing. You don't need any of that. All you need is your commitment to Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens up the paths, opens up your heart, and starts showing you the ways, and starts bringing you closer and closer and closer. And the enjoyment you will get with your bond from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your bond with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is no enjoyment like that on the face of this earth. That's what Ramadan is here for us to build. Every single one of us has that opportunity. If we are smart, if we are intelligent, take advantage of it. The big shayateen have been locked up. The doors of Jannah have been flung open. The doors of Jahannam have been closed. Allah's mercy is showering on us just like this rain. And the opportunities are endless and boundless. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use this month as a means of us gaining nearness to Him and becoming His friends and winning Him over to our side. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this month of us and our parents, our families, and the whole ummah being forgiven. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه.